Yesterday was a terrible day of loss for our nation. Today is a day of grief. I know many Australians will be feeling the weight of this loss from yesterday, still reeling from the shock, still asking questions about what has happened here. And then for 5 families, this is a dreadfully bleak day as they struggle to come to terms with the loss of their loved one. Last night I returned from the Cook Islands as a result of our losses in Afghanistan. I've had the opportunity to bring the National Security Committee together this morning for a meeting and to be comprehensively briefed on the circumstances in Afghanistan and what has happened in relation to the loss of these Australians. What we know from those briefings is we are in a position to confirm the identity of the perpetrator of the insider attack that took the lives of 3 Australians. He is Sergeant Hekmatullah, a member of the Afghan National Army. He only recently arrived in Uruzgan province where we work following training in Kandahar. At this time, Australian, ISAF and Afghan forces remain in pursuit of him, in pursuit of the perpetrator. At this time too, there are a series of investigations underway. They include our own Australian investigation. The Afghan National Security Forces have also rapidly put together a joint Afghan-ISAF investigative team to conduct their own investigation into these events. We have reviewed our force protection measures as a result of this incident, and all Australian personnel, in cooperation with Afghan commanders, have adopted enhanced force protection measures, including additional security at this time. These events from yesterday are grave and truly shocking. I'm going to turn now to the Chief of the Defence Force for a more detailed update, and then we'll take questions on this matter.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Let me begin by extending my condolences to the families of the 5 soldiers who were killed in Afghanistan yesterday. We all feel this loss deeply, and our thoughts and prayers are with each member's families and friends during this extremely difficult period. I'm also thinking of the soldiers who were wounded, and we wish them a speedy recovery and will continue to support them and their families. At this time, I'm in the position to release the details of 2 of the soldiers who have been killed in these incidents. With regard to the insider attack, the families of these men are not yet ready to release the names and other personnel details at this time. I do thank the media for your approach on this matter to date, and again ask you to respect their privacy. With regard to the helicopter crash, the family of the 2 men killed in the accident have agreed to release their personal details. Private Nathaniel Gallagher was 23 years of age. Private Gallagher was born in Weewar, New South Wales in 1989. He enlisted in the Army in October 2007. Private Gallagher's postings include the 1st Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment and the 2nd Commando Regiment. At the time of his death, Private Gallagher was on his 2nd deployment to Afghanistan. He is survived by his partner, parents and sister. Lance Corporal Mervyn MacDonald was 30 years of age. Born in Carnarvon, Western Australia in 1982, he first enlisted in the Army in May 1999. He served for 5 years until his separation in February 2004, and re-enlisting again in July 2005. Since then, Lance Corporal MacDonald undertook several operational deployments in Timor-Leste and 6 to Afghanistan. During his military career, Lance Corporal MacDonald was posted to the 1st Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, the 4th Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, which is now the 2nd Commando Regiment. Corporal MacDonald is survived by his fiancée, his mother and stepfather and 3 brothers. Again, I extend my sympathies to the families, friends and their comrades. As the Prime Minister said, overnight we confirmed the identity of the man we believe to be the perpetrator, is Sergeant Hekmatullah, who arrived, as the Prime Minister said recently, mid-July into Uruzgan province after completing his induction training in Kandahar. We are not yet aware of any relationship he has with the Taliban. In addition to our own ADF Investigative Service investigation, the Afghan National Security Forces have rapidly established a joint Afghan ISAF investigative team to conduct their own investigation. As Air Marshal Binskin said yesterday, we have again reviewed our force protection measures as a result of this incident, and all Australian personnel have adopted these enhanced force protection measures, including some relocations, and adapted to that new posture. I can't divulge the force protection issues. As you'll understand, they are operationally sensitive. Today and tomorrow are normally days of lulls in activity, being Friday, day of prayer for the Islamic religion. So that gives us a bit of time to reset for the coming week. Yesterday afternoon, I had a conversation by phone with General Allen from Jakarta. I reinforced with General Allen my view that these incidents are of strategic significance to the ISAF campaign. And this is a point I raised at the NATO Chiefs of Defence meeting over 10 months ago. General Allen will be seeking further actions and responses from the Afghan government in relation to these insider attacks, and I'll again be speaking with General Allen this afternoon. At this stage of our operations in Afghanistan, we see the Taliban claiming all insider attacks as being of their initiative. The evidence does not necessarily support this, but regardless of the motives, these attacks will be used by the insurgency to try to undermine our confidence and our relationship with the ANSF. This relationship is based on trust. Trust has been hard to build and is hard to maintain. This most recent incident has challenged that trust, but we must and will continue to work with our Afghan partners to strengthen our relationship and improve their capability. We will work to complete the current task to conduct a successful transition to ANSF lead responsibility for security. To return to the helicopter crash, we received an update from ISAF, and as yesterday Air Marshal Binskin reported that one ISAF service member had been wounded. There were actually 4 wounded in the crash, and on behalf of the ADF I wish them a speedy recovery. The helicopter has now been recovered. However, due to operational security measures, I can't disclose any further details about the location of the crash or information on the mission at this time. An air accident investigation will be conducted by the United States Marine Corps, and as Air Marshal Binskin briefed yesterday, we expect to be involved in that investigation. In addition, Defence will undertake its own normal inquiry process. It is fair to say that there is a range of emotions in the ADF today. That's understandable in the circumstances. The advice I've received from our commanders on the ground in Afghanistan, however, should offer some reassurance. They say that there is a positive relationship in the operating basis. The members of the Afghan National Army share our sense of outrage at this attack. The ANA has been proactive in supporting the changes to our force protection posture and is actively attempting to capture Hekmatullah. Our advisory teams are resetting themselves in the province to continue with their work. Our people have performed extremely well in Afghanistan. I'm proud of them and the progress we have made, and I intend to see that work honoured. Thank you.